that people playing on your name? Is it because they just want to? Is it because that's just the world we live in today? Is it because people are just mean, cruel? Or is it because, you know, you don't know the value in your own name? Today, we're going to be talking about the top reasons that people play with your name, the top reasons why people don't respect you the way that you feel like they may should have respect you, right? Now, my name is Queen A. I am the clarity coach. I help you overcome self doubt in order to build your confidence with clarity. And today, the principle we are going to be going over this week is respect. The one thing that most people tend to think they know, but they really don't know, but they think that they know that they really don't know that they do know that they don't know, or whatever that is, right? Confusion. But that's what a lot of people have, and they wonder why people truly don't respect them. They don't tend to understand, most people, that respect is not you begging for attention. No. In this world, most people get it confused. They think that respect is them begging for a follow, right? We see it all the time. The follow for follow, the likes for likes, subscribe for subscribe, the heart for heart, comment for comments. Them, that's the new form of begging nowadays. And it doesn't matter what platform you're on. It doesn't matter if you're on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. Them are forms of begging. And then we wonder why people really don't put respect on our name. Because that's not what respect is. That's not how you get respect. Respect is not, you um performing for a like or a follow or a heart or respect, you know. So most people, especially nowadays, that now since we're living in a digital world, a lot of people think that respect is them performing or doing something for it, right? Well, if I perform or I do it to do this that way, the way they want me to do it, they'll start respecting me. But that's not what respect is. If you have to beg for something, are you really being respected? Think about that for a second. If you have to beg for something, are you really being respected? No, no, you're truly not. All right. And before we go any forward, don't forget to make sure that y'all are subscribed to this channel and make sure that y'all like this video. Okay. Now, the kind of respect that we teach here is respect is something that you should be requiring. Respect is not something that you're asking people for. Respect is something that you are actually telling the people that you want. Think about that for a second. But now we're seeing that people think respect is fear. No. So when I say that we're telling people what we want, let me address this. So respect is not fear. And what we see now here, especially in a lot of businesses and a lot of, owners, business owners and entrepreneurs, they're instilling a lot of fear in their employees or fear in their teammates. And then they think, well, why don't they're not getting the respect level that they think they should have in that company? Because respect is not built on fear. Think about it. Soldiers are built on fear every day. And then they come home. Do they get respect or do they get disrespected? They get disrespected by their own country. And I'm about to explain to you why. Most of us don't understand, but I'm going to explain to you why people are not putting even respect on their name. Because think about it. What happens when you're in the military and you're in the army or anything of that sort? Or what happens? They're yelling at you, right? They're loud, they're yelling at you, they're instilling fear in you. And then what happens? They come home and they don't have no respect. And now we're going to jump into why. because we have to understand the three levels of respect. And this is why most people are not putting respect on your name, because you don't even know the three levels of respect. So the first level of respect is you have to understand how to respect yourself. It starts with self respect. So most of us can't get respect out here on our name because we don't even understand how to respect ourselves. Now, what do I mean by that? What do you value? What are your values? What are your principles? What are your goals? See, most of us don't even understand what we value. We don't understand what our goals are. We don't understand what our principles are. Why? Because we so busy living off somebody else's dream, living on somebody else's values, living up to somebody else's goals, that we ain't even took time out to sit down and really think about what our true values are, our true principles are. And that's the first rule if you want to understand how to respect yourself. Because how can somebody else respect you or even understand how to value you if you don't even understand what your values are? Think about that for a second. If you don't even understand what your values are, how do I know what your values are? Prime example. I'm about to give y'all an example right here. Think about this for a second. So nowadays, the women, they love to use what they call women out here. The females, they love to use the bitch word. Excuse my language. The B word. They love calling each other that. Well, if Queen A, if my values are positivity, building confidence, family, respect, things of that nature. When that means when the young lady calls me that, when she say, "Hey, you know what, bitch, you got this," and they just say it and it's not like they're trying to be, mean or anything or downplay you. They're just talking, and that's how they talk. A lot of people, you know. Well, for me, guess what? I know my values, my principles, and my goals. So I have to, in that moment, have the next level. The next level is respect level is standards. Level two is standards. Now that I have my values, I understand what my standards are, right? So I understand. I just told y'all what my values is. So now, okay, well, I have to have standards if I want these values, right? That means I can't be in the club every day if that's what my values and my principles and my goals is. I can't be shaking my butt online if that's what my values, my principles, and my goals is. I can't be on here being an alcoholic and doing all these other crazy things and cussing everybody out every day, all day, if that's what my values, principles, and my goals are, right? So that's come with standards. But most of us can't get to that level because we don't even know, we don't even have the values sorted out. Think about it. That's why most of us follow the crowds of the next challenge. Every hot challenge, we got every grandma, every auntie, every uncle, everybody jumping in on a challenge, not even asking themselves, does this challenge align with my principles, my values, and my goals? Think about that for a second. How is it? How is it that you asking for people to stop playing with your name, right? But you join in every challenge there is, every single one. You just trying to maneuver with what come next. So where are your standards at? Like for instance, for me, Queen A, they have challenges. I've seen people, they did the crate challenge, and one of my values is health. Well, I wouldn't do the crate challenge because I don't want to interfere with my health. And then we have people eating out the toilet. I've seen people eating out the toilet for challenges, right? Well, that's a standard level I don't want to have, right? Well, I value myself. I have standards on health and all. I can get in all types of reasons on why I wouldn't do that. So I wouldn't do that challenge. And people, I can go on and on, shaking we got the women shaking their ass online all every day, all these different challenges. Well, my value is what? Positivity, respect. If I know I want to teach the young ladies how to be a queen, well, then I need to make sure I have standards where I'm not going to be shaking my butt all day online. And then we come to level three, the boundaries, right? Level three is the boundaries, where we have to get comfortable with the word no. Most of us, they playing with your name because you keep saying yes to everything. They play with your name because every time they turn around, you won't tell them what you know what? I apologize. I can't go there. or I apologize, I appreciate if you don't call me a bitch. I understand that's how y'all play. See, back to what I was saying in the beginning, right? You got to get to the boundaries. But most of us don't have boundaries, whether it be queens and, these young ladies and young men. Most of us don't have boundaries even when it comes to business. Most of the people want us to put respect on your business, but you don't even have no values and principles and goals for your business. So you wondering why other people don't put no values and respect on your business, because you ain't putting no values and respect on your business. See, a lot of us, we open something up and think because we black, and so all black people should buy from me because I'm black. No, they shouldn't. If you ain't got no respect, if you ain't got no values, right? If you rude, should I buy from you just because you black? No. Think about that for a second. And that goes for the same thing opposite. We got to start get out this, this thing of everybody against us. Most of us is against ourselves. And that don't matter if you black, white, Mexican, I don't care. But if you have business, you should have principles and you should have values. And everybody in that company should understand what those values and them principles and them goals are. But the problem that we're seeing in these companies and with entrepreneurs nowadays, it don't matter. I don't care from White Castles to Fidelity Bank. It don't matter. What we're seeing is people don't have no respect. Why? Because they don't even understand these three levels in the business. Most employees at a business don't even know what that business values are. Most people in that job, they don't know what the principles of that job are. They don't know what the values of that company are. They don't understand the standards for that company. Most people start a job, they see some papers and they sign off on it. Nobody's really holding meetings with their employees and saying, you know what? These are our values. And we expect you to be respectful. We expect you to smile. We expect you to communicate. These are our standards, right? And what we're not going to tolerate is disrespect. What we're not going to tolerate is you frowning all day, every day. Because what people don't understand is a smile a day truly keeps the doctor away. So why would I have people on my team that want to frown all day? If I'm a clarity coach and I'm building, right, and I'm inspiring, that means the people on my team have to be doing the same. I don't want nobody on the S&B Sense team that's frowning all day. That don't even align with our values, our principles, and our goals. So a lot of companies fail because they don't have people aligned with their values, their principles, and their goals. A lot of relationships fail for the same thing. They don't even understand what each other's values are. How can a relationship work if y'all don't even understand each other? You don't know his values and principles and goals, and he don't know yours. And then to make it even worse, you don't care to know. Make it make sense. So we have to what? We have to understand our values, principles, and goals. We have to do that so we can set standards on who we are. And then we got to set boundaries. In order to set boundaries, this is with the kicker where most people, they scared at. This where, it's like, ooh, right here. When it comes to setting boundaries. Because now I got to say no to some people that I usually wouldn't say no to, right? I got to say no to some places I usually wouldn't say no to. I have to say no to some things I usually wouldn't say no to. But that's where the change comes. If you're looking for respect, that's where it's at. It ain't in you saying yes every day. You saying yes every day, and then you wonder why they playing with you. I wonder why every time they keep calling me for everything. Yeah, because you keep saying yes to everything. Of course they gonna call you. They gonna call you tomorrow, the next day, and the next day. But I could tell you this, the moment you get clarity on your what? Self-respect, your values, who you are, right? What your principles are. As soon as you start setting standards and as soon as you get boundaries, you start saying no, right? To certain things, people, places, and things. You start saying, I apologize, but I can't make it to that at this time. I apologize. I gotta do this right now. When you start doing these things, I can tell you this, that's when people start respecting you. You think that it's going to be the opposite. See, we think they're going to run away, but no, it's different. People start respecting you. So let me ask you a question. Where do you feel disrespected the most in your life? Think about that for a second. Where do you feel disrespected the most in your life? Whether it be with a family member, a friend, a partner, a business, right? A business deal, whatever. Where do you feel disrespected the most? Whether it be online, I don't care where it's at, whether it's a game you playing with somebody, I do not care. You know, if you feel like your teddy bear disrespect you, I don't care. If that's where you feel like you getting disrespected the most, I want you to think about that. Keep that in your head for a second. Okay? Wherever you feel like you are being disrespected the most in your life right now, it doesn't matter where it's at. Remember, we just said that. That's where you need to set the most boundaries at right now in your life. If you're feeling disrespected in that area, it's because you clearly don't have no boundaries in that area. Once you have boundaries in that area, you don't feel disrespected. So think about that for a second. Where are you feeling disrespected at the most in your life? And then think about where can you set boundaries in that area? Is it something that you need to say no to? Is it something that you need to do, at a later time? Is this somebody, maybe a conversation that somebody you on the phone with every day, all day, that maybe, I need to only talk to them on these days so I can get work done? Is it online? Maybe it's something somebody keeps saying online or doing online. Well, maybe I need to put my phone down or stay away from that for a second. But we have to understand what our values are, what our principles are, and what our goals are, so we can set our standards and so we can get our boundaries in order so we can have respect for ourselves and so people can all around can let us understand and know, and they can understand how to respect us. Let me say that's what I meant to say. Apologize, something popped up on my screen. But so everybody else can understand how to respect us, guys. All right. So don't be scared to stand on your no. Don't be scared to have principles. Don't be scared to have standards. Don't be scared to have boundaries. Because once you get them, people won't play on your name no more. People ain't gonna play on your name no more. No. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all think people just start calling me Queen A? No. People start calling me Queen A. Why? Because I told them I was Queen A. I knew what my values was for myself. My principles was for myself. My goals was for myself, which in turn let me understand what standards I had for myself in business, what goals I had for myself, right? And then in turn, it let me know what boundaries I had for myself. So in business, no, nobody does call me by my real name. Everybody calls me in business Queen A. I don't care if I'm in New York. I don't care if I'm in Cincinnati. I don't care if I'm speaking on the stage. I don't care if I'm speaking in school. I don't care. If I'm at a networking event, if you introduce me or I introduce myself as Queen A. That's why they call me Queen A. So a lot of times we wonder why people playing with your name, because you playing with your name. You don't even understand the value in your name or who you are. See, I understand. I understood, but it took me a minute too. I'm in my 40s. So it took a while. So I want y'all to understand that is how you get over, understand, get over understanding how to respect yourself. That is the top 3 ways how you do it. That's how you do it. And if you a business owner, if you a parent, if you an entrepreneur, and you in need of more clarity, and you in need of overcoming self-doubt, and you want to, guess what? I want to build my confidence with clarity. Then make sure that you comment respect in the comments. And I'll make sure that I go ahead and send you a link so you can book a free call with me, Queen A, or whatever you want to call it. Or if you like to just jump into it and you want to take advantage of our Clarity Mastermind Starter Kit that Queen A just kicked off. So if you don't know, so people that might be on here like, oh, Queen A, what do you do? So if you, for those that don't know, I am an author. Okay, so I am an author. I've been featured in 2 documentaries as well. So one of them is Cincinnati Goddamn, and then the other one is Sins of the City, season 4, episode 4. So for those who don't know, I've been doing this for a while. Okay, I just now got online with it, but I've been doing this for a while. Okay. So if you would also like to join my Clarity Mastermind Starter Kit, that is an online course. It's 4 parts. You get a work guide with it. You can also upgrade and get the bundle included where you can get my book, my journal, which is everything you see back here. We have our books, our journals, and you can get our work guide that comes with it as well. All right. So comment, or you can just take advantage of that in the comments. But more importantly, make sure that you subscribe and you share this video with somebody else. Okay, because just like you learned what respect is, share it with somebody else. Somebody else can use this. All right. And if nobody else loves you, remember Queen A does. Later. Mwah.